Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Alpha Omega Occasionally, and on this occasion we're talking about a fairly important thing if you're planning on getting married in Thailand. And before you marry a Thai girl, actually before you marry any girl, it's a good idea that you both speak the same language. But you see, when you marry a Thai girl, it's probably not going to be as plain sailing as you might think, because most Thai girls don't speak English perfectly. Although the ones you meet in bars speak it a bit, but not perfectly, not enough to hold a detailed conversation, let's say. And you probably don't speak enough Thai to do the same. Most of us, and I include myself in that, speak a little bit of Thai. A lot of people say I speak rubbish Thai, but I can understand about, 50% of what Thai people say when they speak. Like if I listen to a Thai drama on TV, I can understand bits of it as long as I get the pictures as well, that contextual kind of stuff. But when you're having a detailed conversation with your spouse, and I'm giving it to you from my own experience, and hang on a second, I couldn't do this sober. I'm giving you this from my own experience. I speak a bit of Thai. Pamput Thai Nip Noi. Pamput Thai Tukwan. I speak Thai every day. Pamput Thai Laikon Thai Mai Kauchai. When I speak Thai, many Thais can't understand me. And I'm going to give you a few kind of scenarios about being married to a Thai girl and having problems because she doesn't speak English that well and you don't speak Thai that well. And when you're in a relationship, communication is key, obviously. And when you're trying to impart information, and it's crucial information about this, that and the other, and you get it wrong, well, then all hell can break loose. And that's what happens frequently. And I'll be honest with you, I'm committed to my relationship with my Thai wife, and she, I presume, well, I know she is, she's committed to the same with me. But from time to time, arguments flare up for no other reason but for miscommunication or misunderstanding. I'll give you some examples of this if I can think of something offhand. She will ask me, yes, this is what happened. We were up in our weekend place up in Pontoutini. If you're a regular viewer to this channel, you know all about that place. And she said to me she wanted to go to Macro. Macro is a wholesale place. In Thailand, you don't need a wholesaler card to shop in a wholesale place. You can just go. Macro was down in Rangsit. And as we approached, we left the house. You go up the road. If you want to go to Macro, Rangsit, you turn left. But she said she wanted to go to 7-Eleven first. But I said to her, she didn't say first, but she said it in broken English. She said, I want to go. She said, something, when you're recalling stories like this, I can't remember if she was speaking Thai at the time or speaking English, but she imparted this information to me. This is what I picked up from what she had said, that she wanted to go to Macro, but she wanted to go to 7-Eleven first. But that's not what she said, but that's what I got. Because I thought that's what she said, but that's not what she said. An argument ensued afterwards. Here's what happened. So we get to the top of the road and left is Macro. And there's a 7-Eleven on the way, because there's a 7-Eleven everywhere in Thailand. So I kind of said to her, okay, we'll turn, Leo Sai means turn left. I said, we'll turn left. And she went crazy. Why would we turn left? I said, because 7-Eleven's on the way to Macro. She said, 7-Eleven is there, just on the right, literally 25 meters on the right. But I said, well, if we go that way, we'll have to do a U-turn again and come back down. Anyway, we went to the one on the right. Did our thing, got our 7-Eleven stuff, whatever it was. And then I set off again, and I was about to pass the turn in to go back to the house to go down to Macro and Rangsit, you see. But she had a canary. Why was I continuing on to go to Macro? And I said to her, because that's what you said to me. But obviously she didn't. So what I got was, she wanted to stop off at 7-Eleven on the way to Macro. But in fact, she wanted to go to 7-Eleven first, go home, do whatever she had to do at home, and then later go to Macro. Now, I don't know how much sense or how you can picture that scenario, but believe you me, the way she imparted the information to me, be it in broken English or Thai or whatever way it was, I picked it up that the trip was going to be an all-in-one, stop off at 7-Eleven and go to Macro, but that's not what it was. And she ended up throwing a wobbler that I was a stupid farang, how could I not understand, blah, 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 blah. And that's the truth. And that's just an example of how things can flare up ridiculously because of a lack of understanding and a lack of communication, let's say. One of the things I've noticed being married to a Thai, and it's not a criticism, it's just an observation, it's what I have come to know, that she will automatically think I'm stupid because I don't understand or I misunderstand what she says. But you see, she doesn't even entertain the fact that both of us could be at fault because of the lack of communication, the lack of understanding of either one's language. So it's really a case that when you marry your Thai girlfriend, well, she'll be your wife when you marry her, but you know yourself, you've got to be aware of the fact that you're going to have wobblers of arguments when it comes to language, unless you're completely fluent in Thai or unless she's completely fluent in English. Some of you will be married to girls or be in relationship with Thai girls whose English is really, really strong, and you probably wouldn't experience the experience that I have imparted to you there. Indeed, I know a few Thai girls whose English is fluent, and situations like that wouldn't arise. But by and large, I can talk to you now in fluent English. I use idioms, I use phrasal verbs off the cuff without thinking. And when you're talking to a Thai spouse, she might have an understanding of English, but does she understand idiomatic phrases? Does she understand phrasal verbs? By the way, just as a side note, there's 10,000 phrasal verbs in the English language. You'd be a long time teaching her that. But besides that, bear in mind that when you marry your Thai girl, you've got to be aware that the language barrier is indeed that. It's going to cause you stress. It's going to cause you frustration. As I said, you probably could disagree with me if you're married to someone or you're in a relationship with someone who speaks fluent English or whatever language you speak. But imagine a scenario where, and I'd imagine some of you listening to me now, English isn't your first language. And obviously it's not her first language. So if you're Russian or French or German, the chances are that your Thai spouse is not going to speak Russian, French or German. So the common language is English. And if you're not fluent in English and she's not fluent in English, your situation will be worse than my situation. At least, although some would argue the contrary, at least I'm fluent in English. Well, Hiberno English. But she is not. And therefore, I'm not fluent in Thai. So therefore, we have absolute Donnybrooks. By the way, speaking of Hiberno English, a Donnybrook is a fight. But we have absolute, I know, it can be absolutely catastrophic. But I'll tell you this much. It shows how strong my relationship is with my wife. We can ride the storms of these lack of communications and the crazy arguments that ensue because of the fact we're committed to each other. And that's one thing that I'm really grateful for. So before anyone thinks that I'm backstabbing or I'm washing my dirty linen in public, it's not that. It's highlighting the frustration that I have with not being able to speak Thai properly. It's not her responsibility to speak English. It's my responsibility to speak Thai because I'm in her country. So there you go. Anyway, lads, if you've got a similar experience or you want to share your experience, let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you have a similar experience to me. Let me know what you think. of my experience. And make sure before you do anything else, click that notifications bell, click the like button, click the share button, click the subscribe button, do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.
Hello there.